David is disgusting. Allegedly, he was dating a minor for years and then ended up killing her and stuffing the body chopped up in the trunk of his Tesla. But what if I told you that somebody actually knew exactly what was going on with David's private life all of those years that he was allegedly grooming and having a relationship with a minor? Well, what if I told you that somebody knew about that and they tried to warn the world numerous times, and now that David is finally facing justice, they're completely missing. Nobody has heard from them at all. I have wanted to make this video for a few days, and I've been doing a bunch of digging into all different examples of, did anyone know what was going on with David? And I'm not just talking about his family, who obviously knew, right? We see Celeste sat in between David's siblings amongst his parents at the Fonda Theatre show. We've now seen in the paperwork that David apparently flew Celeste back to Texas so that he could meet his family. We knew they knew. But what about anybody else on the internet, any internet rumors, any comments? And I'd seen a couple examples of people knowing that David was messing with minors years ago, but I have now collected basically all of the examples of one particular person who was trying to expose David for years, and I'm going to present them all to you in this video. I don't know too much about this person. I don't know if they're ever going to feel like they can come and speak out. They haven't been heard from in quite a long time. But I do hope, if on the off chance the person I'm talking about in this video sees this video, please reach out, all right? Please, if you're willing to talk, I'd love to know your story. I'd love to know how you knew that David was messing with minors all those years ago. And I would love to know why you exposed him, why you kept posting all these posts suggesting that David was messing with minors, and why you stopped. What happened? Where you gone? So I'm talking, of course, about Ponzalo. So there's a bunch of posts I'm going to show you in this video, okay? Which says they tried and no one took it seriously. So this is Ponzalo. He's a Discord user, all right? It says Cyber Criminoso. One mutual server, that's the David server, all right? And his little tagline here on his Discord is, I always knew. He always knew. He'd been a member of Discord for years. He hadn't joined David's... This part doesn't make sense. Now, does that mean he was a member of David's subreddit on September the 18th when the body was identified? That part doesn't make sense. Maybe this is an old screenshot, all right? But anyway, maybe this is a fake screenshot. But regardless, this person, Ponzalo, that is the name that you're going to be seeing a lot, okay? So this person apparently knew everything about what David was doing with Celeste behind the scenes for quite some time, and he actually did attempt to warn the world a few times. So let's just see what people are saying, okay? Because there's a lot of kind of conflicting info. It says, okay, so he can put I always knew in the bio, but he can't post anywhere and explain how he knew, right? So story has it, and I don't know if I want to participate in the potential smearing of this person, but there's a lot of posts going around where it says he was one of the kids who blackmailed David. Now, okay, these comments are 8 months ago. 8 months ago, okay, the rumor was going around that David had blackmailed the kids in Celeste's school to keep quiet about the relationship. There was a picture of allegedly some money being handed over in a parking lot, and a lot of people said this was David actually paying off Celeste's friends to stop talking. Come to find out, the prosecutors aren't alleging that's what happened. But now what prosecutors are saying is that David was actually paying $1,000 to one of Celeste's friends to give her a phone so that he could communicate with her after her phone was taken away by her parents because she went missing. She ran off with David. Okay. So there's this rumor going around that this kid Ponzalo was one of the kids that blackmailed David. Now, I'm not sure if that blackmail story is a separate story or if it turned out to be false and really somebody was getting paid to take a phone to Celeste, okay? But it basically is an interesting theory. So there's a bunch of screenshots and posts that are going to go down that are going to blow your mind in this, okay? It says exactly, so he has plenty of evidence. I hope he's sending over to LAPD. This is a set of posts from the Discord, and he basically apparently posted in the main David Discord, I want to tell everyone about how David is a PDF file. And they also posted, did y'all know that David likes kids, right? And this is a year before the story broke about the body being found in the trunk of the Tesla. Okay. So people are saying, I've seen his Discord messages, but how did he have her full name and connect it to the girl on the stream? Is he someone from Lake Elsinore? These are just general questions. So people are saying he owes nobody an explanation, like I'm sure he's reported it to the police, considering how hard he went to try and get people near him to begin with. So, all right. So, all right, there's a theory going around that Ponzalo is actually the very dude who was actually photographed with David in a parking lot in Lake Elsinore, seemingly being handed a bag of cash. So a lot of people actually believe that David... Oh, this is the wrong clip. That's not a relevant clip. But a lot of people believe that David actually paid off this Ponzalo guy who was exposing him online to stop talking. So this is the post that had a lot of people raising their eyebrows. So David posted in his Discord back in August of 2024. It would have been on the 16th of August 2024. He posted, everyone, I'm in a song crisis right now. And Ponzalo, he posted, drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, in August of 2024. All right. This is like 8 months before she even gets killed. So he knows not only that David is messing with this missing girl, Celeste, knows her full name, knows everything about her. And this would have been just 4 months after the second time that she was officially declared missing in April of 2024. Obviously, the first time she was declared missing being Valentine's Day, also in 2024 when David ran off with her, okay? So a lot of people are saying this is wild, okay? That's what I'm saying. How did people know about it? A lot of people on his Discord knew about this. He just didn't care. So there's kind of more of this sort of people's thoughts of this going around. So that was months ago. This is something that came up right after the body was identified, and it's been swept under the rug and not talked about. But I've got some new stuff that kind of makes these posts hit very, very differently, okay? So it says, drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. It says, how does this go on for so long with people knowing about it? They're saying last year, by the way. Okay? People saying, I feel like there was too much fans that knew, yet they didn't speak up, but I can somehow understand a bit why they didn't. Maybe there wasn't enough proof, unlike now where proof is everywhere, but someone should have at least tried to speak up. So they're saying, I agree with you, but to be fair, they had 2 years to report it until it came to this point. I found this information by going to the server and looking up her name. It can't be this hard for one person to report it, right? So this is back when David's Discord wasn't completely locked down and deleted. And this were basically internet detectives right after the body had been identified as Celeste, searching for Celeste in his Discord. And people are in there saying Celeste was one of his girlfriends. That was back in 2025. In July, before the body was found, but after the murder. Someone's saying Celeste is Team David too. Probably assume my house is not my home is probably about Celeste. Sophia's saying Celeste is the girl he showed in the stream. Yebu7 is the girl who spoiled him. And then, of course, Ponzalo saying drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. So people saying, yeah, it sucks that no one tried to speak up. I'd like to think that someone tried to but got silenced by him, but I don't know. It's also weird. We're not going to go with the not guilty theories. We're not going to do that. So this has been posted a bunch of times. Some people were thinking it was a family member. So a lot of people are now looking back at Ponzalo and saying this is the only person who tried to warn everyone about David. And not only did he post that original post where he apparently said drop the one about the missing girl Celeste Rivas Hernandez, now more screenshots are going around where apparently in the days following that post, people were challenging him. This is in the main archive. It says, you aren't giving any proof. That's all I'm going to think. And then he replied, this is the girl. He shared the missing persons poster and that she's 13 and said she came back home in March, then went missing again in like April. So back in August of 2024, Ponzalo knew the personal inside info that Celeste had gone missing twice. In February, coming home in March. I think she actually did return home in February, but maybe Ponzalo didn't know about that. And then her going missing again in April. He knew everything. And he was posting about it in the Discord in August 2024. So now this is sort of another I think this is like a back and forth. This is posts that Ponzalo posted. And we already saw these. But he said, I want to tell everyone about how David is a PDF file. Did y'all know that David likes kids? And he was really spreading the word, right? So this is, again, this was right after the body was identified. And this is in the r/David subreddit. So here's the thing that's interesting, all right? Here's the thing that's interesting. These posts are in the r/David subreddit, okay? r/David is a broken subreddit. You can't post here. The reason why you can't post here is because David was the only moderator. David, yes, the David, was the only moderator, and he withdrew from being a moderator. But before he withdrew, you were still able to post. So there were a bunch of these posts that I'm showing you of Ponzalo that were in here. And then on this last post 8 months ago, very ironic, somebody posted, why hasn't he been arrested? This was a massively popular post. And then at this point, David leaves his own subreddit with no moderator, so you can't post there anymore because no post can be approved, effectively shutting down his own subreddit. But here's the thing. David was definitely 1,000% aware of what was going on in his subreddit because he was the only moderator. He was allowing these posts to go through. So absolutely guaranteed, David knew that these posts talking about Ponzalo knowing about David being a PDF file, David's seen these posts. David definitely read these posts, okay? So he read the posts and he would have read these comments. I guarantee you David read all of this because this is the only window of time that he was still moderating his own Discord, and he was sat around for 8 months with nothing better to do, right? Basically, David was just sat there reading all of this, finding out what was going on. I think he knew who Ponzalo was. So it says, imagine knowing what happened but not being able to prove it enough so that nobody believes you. It's got to hurt to know the truth but have no power to show it until it's too late. People are saying, damn, credit to that person for actually saying something, but probably sadly ignored. This shit pissed me off. People saying, unfortunately, I think they got paid off. They're saying, no, they didn't get paid off. They got banned from Discord. Apparently confirmed through matching social media account names that this was the person who got paid off. People saying, I can't link the evidence because it was an Insta story, but it was literally the guy in the picture of David paying off the fat kid. It was on the story of the guy who leaked it. He shared DMs with him, some kid named Gonzalo. He claims Gonzalo is the Ponzalo guy from Discord. He could be BSing, but that's what I know. Okay. So it says one of the only people that knew what was going on was trying to alert people in the Discord. He was the same person that said drop the unreleased music with the missing girl. Okay. So did he just think that David made songs about missing minors, or did he know that he was messing with a minor? He definitely knew. Right. So this is allegedly the picture of Ponzalo being paid off. That's allegedly him, Ponzalo, aka Gonzalo, and this is David apparently quite literally handing over money or something, texting in his phone with Ponzalo holding a bag of something. Could be a bag of cash. Could be his own bag and he's just organizing a transfer of some money, but definitely very suspect. Now, I haven't seen any proof of the payoff happening, okay, but people are saying, is there any proof that that's even him? There's another photo of him getting out the Tesla. How does that prove that it's him? Is there any proof? This one was deleted. It's unfortunate. People saying, no, it's not Ponzalo. Stop trying to dox minors for their own safety. You don't know what David or his team is capable of, including but not limited to witness tampering, intimidation. Thanks for the kindness, respectness, and privacy, buddy. Right? So people are saying, wait, that was the person that said drop the song with a missing girl and then said her full government name. They've been trying to expose him. Discord MFs don't be caring about shit. They just spend the whole day role-playing and doing e-dates. So people are reposting that. People saying, I've noticed Ponzalo user shows up a lot in the Discord. They know a lot about Celeste. So people are speculating it could have been a student who was at the same school as her, which could be a reason why he was able to connect the dots this easily, even if he wasn't 100% sure. That's just a theory. Not a fact, just saying that because I know some people will take it as one. Some people are saying, I'm wondering if that's actually her brother. Did anyone know her, if her brother knew the predator David? Celeste was dating the singer David. Her brother apparently knew and tried to go to the police, but nothing happened due to lack of evidence. He said he never had Discord and wasn't aware of the David Discord in general. Okay, so there's more posts going around from months ago, right? People saying, why didn't anyone talk up sooner? There's a post in the David Discord proving someone was aware of his connection to the missing girl Celeste. So how is it just now becoming public when the server has 24,000 people in it? People saying you raise a valid point, but at the time that this was posted, the server had far less people in it. Since the news, there's been a massive influx. It's just crazy how now all these people have information. But when he was strolling around with a missing minor, everybody was shh. Says David was suing people $30,000 for even posting a photo of the two together. I think I heard that before. It says, well, for whatever reason, they had to not talk. Now that David has been exposed, they have nothing to lose, and David's relationship is now worth nothing, so they prefer to have some credit by exposing him even more than keeping silent. It says, in my opinion, they probably tried, but it's always hard to expose these celebrities, not only do you have to deal with their powerful legal teams and record labels, but sometimes the fans won't react the way that you expect. It's like there's a weird waiting game when it comes to exposing celebrities. It has to come out at the right time. People saying, what was even the context of this message? It's David saying that he was in a song crisis. We know that. So I've got a new message now that I hadn't seen before. And we're now kind of moving, beyond the period of the original David subreddit. But this was still 8 months ago, all right? A lot of this stuff slipped me by. It says, don't know if you've already seen it, but I found this on Twitter, right? So this is Ponzalo apparently saying he took my little sister's friend to LA to F in his house while she's 12. So if this is true and real, this would confirm that Ponzalo is essentially the older brother of one of Celeste's friends. Took my little sister's friend to LA to F in his house while she's 12. And people saying anyone can make stuff up, and that's what it sounds like, right? People aren't believing him. And obviously they're saying it's the same guy. They're saying, so is he a troll or on the defense? I suppose it's one of the minors who knew. This person called him a PDF multiple times, posted the missing poster, and told him to drop the song about her using her full name at some point. Okay, they basically said their little sister was friends with Celeste. Could have been talking about a different 11-year-old, but in context, clues indicate it's Celeste. Okay. They're saying he knows more than the average person. People saying he was linked to the kid who was paid off by David. Unsure if it was actually him, but it would make sense because he stopped. He says, I suspect he's a blackmailer. He's getting the word out for money, not to do the right thing. So for those not getting it, Ponzalo is saying his little sister is Celeste's friends. He's talking about Celeste. He claimed to be the one who was paid the hush money to stop talking about her being missing. And apparently Ponzalo is a minor. Okay. Apparently he went to school with Celeste and was only a few years older than her. They're saying he doesn't live in the US, much less California. This person knew things. It's not the first time I've seen his name and profile picture talking about Celeste. And it says, I can confirm it's real, guys. Look at the screenshot. Because of how many people are in, I'd usually say 10 to 13 chats per minute. There's a huge gap from 552 to 601, which is unusual. He clearly deleted not only that text in particular, but all reactions or interactions with anyone who responded to it. I joined after the controversy to do my own research. I had no idea who he was prior, don't worry. He did the same for a few other incriminating text that was in there. I've been trying to screenshot all weird shit before it was removed. So they're basically saying that those messages with Ponzalo were deleted, right? It was covered up. It says, I don't know, this guy seems fishy. Apparently it was the same guy that was trying to blackmail the kids who were blackmailing David. So people saying something's not right here. So listen to this. This is a back and forth. He said, if you really try to ruin your life, I will help you, bud. And he said, dude, please. Actually, Ethan, you don't know how bad this is. And he said, explain how bad it is then. He said, bro, this was a secret that wasn't supposed to get out. David didn't know how old the girl was when she was apparently lying and saying she was 19 when he was 20. And the second he found out, he took her home. And since we were dumbass kids, we tried to blackmail him and we really messed up. If you keep that video up, you could ruin his life for doing nothing wrong over a girl lying. And then you could ruin my life because he would know I leaked it and I could go to jail for like slandering him, bro. And then they say, pay me. Okay. So something's going on, right? And people aren't buying it. Some people are saying there ain't no way. Not fake. This is called lying. The blackmailing kiddo was lying to defend David. He still is at other places too, allegedly. People are saying there's no way she lied about her age. People are saying, yup, the kids David paid off are still lying to cover for him. They're even calling him innocent and shit, despite knowing otherwise for a fact. At least one of them was from Celeste's same school, if not in the same class. People are saying, based on what? They might online on Fortnite in a friend group. It's super easy to say you're older online. I find it hard. There's no way she lied about her age. It's definitely a possibility. And that's how she looked when they met. All right, fact, she was a child. Anyway. So this is another back and forth. Does Ponzalo come up here? This is somebody else basically knowing. They're saying, they're basically saying, I don't know, he had a girl. He might have had a sneaky link. He has a girlfriend. Pretty sure he's dating. Her name is Celeste. He said he wasn't in a relationship, but she's so pretty. Right? They're saying you can't blame Ellie for calling Ponzalo a liar here. Situation is that sick and twisted. Anyone who isn't aware is obviously going to assume it's a blatant lie. So there's sort of like a lot of these posts that are going around. Obviously, I already showed you this one, but people have been trying to work out who this is, right? This is 8 months ago. Now we've got a bit more context. We know that he's the older brother of one of Celeste's friends, but people were saying at the time when we found out exactly who the person was that was in the trunk of David's Tesla, these old posts started going around. And this is when Ponzalo was telling everyone that David as a PDF file, and someone's posted it saying, have this person revealed themselves yet, or are they still being silent regarding the situation right now? So I really wish they would. If anything, they've either got the same past to the account or is dead. I really hope this isn't the same Gus person that she was speaking about to David. Probably not. It says, this is a little insane, and I don't know how believable it is, so take with a grain of salt. I've been deep diving on Reddit about this case, and I saw a video of a guy claiming he was friends with the kid who took the photo of David giving money to the kid. He claimed in the video that this person was the one receiving money from David. In the video, he showed the usernames matched and everything. I don't know how true it is. Okay, got to be one of the kids he paid off to keep quiet. So, apparently, okay, there's more. Ponzalo was apparently trying to find TikToks of Celeste, and this is before he was exposing her. So before she was exposing David for messing with her, before he was on there talking about David's a PDF and dropped the song about the missing girl, right? It says this nerd knew about her TikTok too. So Ponzalo posted, does anyone know what happened to David's girlfriend's videos on TikTok? And he said, why did they all like disappear? And it said he also sent this, and that's the drop the song with the missing girl. So the people saying, who is that? Has anyone found out? No clue, but they were the first to openly call out David in a server and got banned for it. He said, I started my username in everything, just my name. Apparently his username is GonsQLu. He apparently tried blackmailing David and got paid. They're saying, isn't this the guy that called him a PDF around that time? And then that's the post. It says, but now he's switched up. He's putting the blame on Celeste. They're saying the dude is spreading BS. Don't believe that, chat. Timeline with those Discord messages goes back to 2022, and it doesn't add up at all. If she lied about being 19, Slim tried to run with this narrative too. I called him out on X for it, and he deleted his account and everything. The mods tried to save their asses, but based on Discord messages, they definitely effing knew. And they're saying, so this was the kid in the pic where David was paying him, right? So they're saying that's his nickname on Discord, Cyber Criminoso. I mean, I've got Discord. I have to send him a friend request real quick. All right, I just sent him a friend request on Discord. If he hits me back, I'll let you guys know. All right, maybe you'll see this video. It says, this dude's old name was Todd Lerfondler a year ago. If you don't believe me, go into the server with bleed and paste in that name. So that's obviously the posting of her. Anybody with a Last FM account should message him about speaking. He's been active since 17th of September. He's going to get subpoenaed anyway. People are saying, I feel like he should just come forward and at least speak on the situation instead of just wiping his accounts and going off the grid. It just seems like he has more to hide. So that's exactly what he's doing. You can't find him on TikTok. Even the person who made the video said they can't find his Instagram. Also, you can't message him on Discord, and the only way you can contact him is through Last FM, and that's if he even checks his inbox there. Okay. So they're saying, Ponzalo is the chubby Hispanic kid in the photo. The messages in the Discord are very feminine, and he uses the girl emoji in Discord, so I don't know if that's really him. So this theory that Ponzalo was actually taking bribes from David has gone around a lot, right? They said allegedly Ponzalo has been taking bribes from David. And so this is basically a post. It says, here he is getting paid off by David. They said, this was the pic bro showed me. I'm not capping. It says, Ponzalo was praised at first for being one of the only ones who were actively trying to take down David, but could never amount to anything. To me, he's now the scum of the earth for taking a bribe as well as not coming forward. It's still so surreal to me how preventable her passing and abuse was. So basically, people are saying that he was paid off. People are defending him, saying, bro, at the end of the day, he's a kid. Her parents need to be held accountable, not her classmates. What about David? It says it's already been proven Ponzalo isn't the guy in the pic getting paid. That's a random kid who got sent the pic by someone else. So apparently, there would be messages about David dating minors that date all the way back to 2023. Now, I don't know if this is Ponzalo or somebody else. Ponzalo, so far, is the only person that we know that knew about this and was actually fighting for the truth. So this has started being posted in David Idiots. 4 months ago. It says more possible connections from the David's Closet Discord involving Celeste Rivas Hernandez. So all the way back in July of 2023, somebody posted David dated a minor. It's a deleted user. We don't know who posted it, right? And then obviously there's the live stream of David with Celeste on January 2024. People saying David has a girlfriend. Sophia knows too much. His girlfriend was with him on stream, so that would have been just after. So Sophia's confirming that the girl on stream was David's girlfriend. Pretty sure he has a girlfriend. Her name is Celeste. Confirmed that that is who he was dating. And people saying, do you have a picture of her? Is she the one in his music video? He posted her on his stream a few times, a few months ago, and TikTok. So he's posted this minor, right? And said, I'm sad. David has a girlfriend. He's wearing pink tonight, so his girlfriend's going to be there. And then there's a picture of Celeste sat right there in between David's siblings and next to his mum. You're going to need to explain that. Caleb seems to be trying to do the right thing, unless he's faking it. But anyway, this will be more back and forth. It says, what's he doing? He's just a little zesty. For real, how do you know? It says, his TikTok, his girl holding his face. It made me cry. That was supposed to be my Buki. And they're saying, oh, wait, I thought you were saying he was asexual. But yeah, right. I saw a TikTok. I found his girlfriend's TikTok too. What's her TikTok? It's YayWoohoo7. But delete this if it's not supposed to be public. He reposted her TikTok though, so it probably doesn't matter, right? So people was posting YayWoohoo7 was David's girl. David's girl, you know, the one called Celeste. They know she's called Celeste. And then she's posting the David tattoo in an engagement ring with even her hand looks young. Is that a weird thing to say? I feel like her hand, just her finger looks young and small. Like it just looks like kid hands. So not going to lie, David's kind of hot. Too bad. Ring finger. She's engaged to David. David was engaged to this minor. It's fucked. It's disgusting, right? Ring on finger. That's her. People was trying to say this wasn't her. That's Celeste. That is Celeste, right? David played at Dublin at the Academy, part of his My House Is Not Home tour, right? Maybe when they're saying that David flew her out to London, maybe they're not including... Oh, wait, no, my bad. So he was at Dublin on July the 9th, and then he's posted, bored in Dublin, I miss my girlfriend. So that's July the 9th, 2024. Just a few months after she's going missing, he's missing his girlfriend. He's in Dublin, right? And said, oh, I thought that girl was her in voice chat last night. Her name is YayWoohoo7, I think it is. So this is all confirming that all during this time, David was dating this minor Celeste, and people knew from 2023 he was dating minors. This is a Discord call with Celeste and David on there together on July the 11th, 2024. She all over the Discord. So it says Celeste is Team David too. I think Celeste was one of his girlfriends. I remember I was supposed to send her my cat every day. I say, send me pictures of cat every day. So we should probably double check that if she is Team David, all right? He was saying I think Celeste was one of his girls, and said, I think she was the one he did that one cooking stream with. You know, that's the delete everything stream. That was a cooking stream. People saying it's an X. People saying play Dress to Impress with Sophia for a stream. I don't know if this is a response, could be a response to Celeste. So someone's commenting YayWoohoo7. They're all posting her TikTok account. She's getting a little clout. It says David doesn't respond to fans at all now. It says he does, just always busy. It says, and then this is the Ponzalo thing, right? Drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. People saying, oh man. Someone said, I'm snitching. Can we get Miles David, please? David and Jamiroquai. No one paid any attention to that. No one paid any attention. So apparently they're saying it was a code. If he performs in pink, it means Celeste was going to be at the show. So I looked up David dating a minor message in Discord, and I wonder if the person who commented it is named Jose. It's unclear since there's 2 deleted users, but here's the screenshots. They said David just linked with Crystal Lust. No one cares, Cornball. You just know. And they said, who is that? Apparently that's also what they were commenting. Sophia said, we're slaying. Is that Dakota Rivers? LMAO. Honest reaction. Power couple on God. Your name is Jose. Shut the F up. Yes. I don't care. So that's I guess how we know the person who commented it, his name was Jose. It says the last screenshot's a photo of a Discord user named Ponzalo asking about the song with Celeste, who tried warning others to the case of David being a PDF file. Okay. Page 20 got the most damning thing. That person knew and knows. Is there any way to find out who that deleted user was? It was Ponzalo. Okay. And it says also around June 2024, she was back with her family after being reported missing in the video. So I believe she left with David again after his show in Utah. Interesting. All right. So it says Celeste was last reported and seen missing April 2024, but her cousin posted these pictures of her at a family gathering in June 2024. Right. A little bit weird. So anyway, all right, there's more. So apparently Celeste's cousin so I think the timeline's really important, right? So there's been a few other people as well as Ponzalo that spoke out. Now, Celeste's cousin did this warning not to talk to internet guys. Now, this is what's really fascinating because they posted this warning in exactly a sort of very, very similar time as some of those last posts that we saw. Where were they? It was a while ago. But basically, February 26th. So this would have been just days after Celeste went missing with David on Valentine's Day and came back. She said, be careful who you talk to on the internet. Guys, don't make the same mistake my cousin made. You don't know who you're talking to on the side of the glass. You don't know who you're talking to on the internet. Please be safe out there. And they posted this thumbnail from a video, Stalker Tries to Steal Our Little Sister. And it's ironic that this appears to be an African-American because, young Hispanic girl, I guess, being lured away. This is basically what David was doing. Replace that with like a Hello Kitty plushie. And there you go. All right. And so we're seeing posts now from Celeste's cousin while she was missing. This is right when Celeste is missing. This is when the cops are knocking on the door, telling David you're messing with a minor. And her cousin is posting, and please, whoever has Celeste Riviera, I'm begging you, please let her go. She's just a teenager. This is her cousin. Her family members are deeply concerned for her. Celeste, please come back home to us. This is the turmoil David's putting the family through, right? So all of this was going on publicly, and no one knew to put two and two together. They're saying, return Celeste Riviera to us. Please bring us home to her family members. We're deeply concerned. We stop hunting for her sake until she is returned safely to us. Celeste, come home. We're worried sick about you and your family. Maya, we love you. Reach out to us. Right? So they're posting pictures of her with her father saying, help us find her, please. Pleading. Says, Celeste, my niece is missing this morning. I do not get to classes in Lake Elsinore, California. She's 13 years old. So she was just 13. And she going missing to LA with David at just 13, right? So it said a week after Celeste's cousin posted about her being missing, her aunt shared a missing persons poster on the 15th of February. She shared this video on 2026 and warns of her cousin making a mistake and talking to an internet guy she didn't know, okay? Very interesting. A lot of her relatives actually were really worried about her, right? People saying this is heartbreaking. Can't get over how young she looks in the last photo. This is probably the one time I've seen her smile in a picture. So other people knew, all right? And around the same day, so this is what I was about to say. I forgot. I hadn't actually shown it to you yet. So Celeste's cousin, on the 26th of February, 2024, just days after she would have apparently returned from being missing, all right? The same day as that's happening, February the 26th, 2024, people are on David's TikTok. They're commenting on David's TikTok. And someone called Robin River commented, waiting for LAPD to get your ass for messing with a 13-year-old girl. So people in the community and people around we've looked at least 3 or 4 people in this video now who knew around 2024 that David was messing with a minor. Why wasn't anything done? Because when I seen his own fans calling him out for dating Celeste, they known about Celeste being missing, and they also known about her real age. There was a lot of people who knew about it and still let it happen. Karma is going to eat you alive, David. Says it's crazy how many people knew the F stuff he was doing, yet nobody did anything about it. Some even took money to shut up about it. I wonder how these people feel now knowing they could have saved a little girl's life and didn't need to leave multiple kids with trauma from this numbnut ass R-word. People say, I've been thinking about those people in the comments a lot. They're saying, who is Ponzalo? Where did they come from and how did they know that at the time? Apparently it's some kid her age. What's this going to be? I have a feeling this is going to be bad. This is just those posts. We've already seen all these. We've seen that plenty. Okay. It says, this girl would still be alive if anyone did something. Okay. Ponzalo calling him out with such a profile picture. They need to be called to testify. They obviously knew things, and it's time for all of these people to talk out. Okay, it says, truthfully, everyone involved is going to be haunted by this event for the rest of their life for not doing enough for and to help a 13-year-old Celeste when she was alive to prevent her untimely death at the hands of Burke. The ones who turned a blind eye to a grown man dating a child will be haunted for sure, because look at how it turned out. Because they just brushed it off as a young girl throwing herself at a star, just like they had the road groupies who used to follow bands back in the day in the 70s and 80s and turn the other cheek. And she ends up dead at the hands of said star. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you is from August 2024, all right? So this is apparently a leaked DM between Celeste and David directly, all right? And I'm only showing you this just to show you that this is all around, this is before any of this stuff happened. So people been known about this, right? And so this is apparently Celeste in August of 2022, not 2023, 2022, right? I'm pretty sure she would have been 12. Would she have been 11 or 12 at this time? Says, my parents are so effing annoying, they won't let me go see you perform. And David said, don't worry, I'll fix it. 2022. So this was going on for years. It was going on Discord. I don't know if these are public messages or leaked DMs, but a bunch of people in that Discord knew. They knew Celeste. They knew David was messing with Myers. They knew that he was a PDF file. Okay. And it actually really makes me sad to just see that so many people seem to know what was going on. And people tried. They posted in Discord. They tried to speak out, but it fell on deaf ears. Now, I don't know who the biggest failure is here, whether, you know, some of these guys that knew what was going on should have done more. Should they have tried harder? Or is it really a case that maybe, you know, maybe the authorities really should have taken this more seriously? You know, come to find out, Celeste's auntie and cousin is posting on Facebook, just, please, Celeste, come home. And the sheriff's department are knocking on David's door telling him she's a minor. Could they have done more? Could they have taken it more seriously? Could they have looked into David more closely once Celeste did come home? I really don't know, okay? But I just really wanted to share this with everybody and let everybody know that, you know what? If you know something like this is happening, posting about it and jumping on Discord and telling, it's actually not enough, all right? If Ponzalo had maybe gone to the police earlier, I don't know if he did, maybe that could have helped. But I think this is just so sad to just see this situation just so obviously dragged out in front of the whole world. A bunch of people knew, a bunch of people posted, they're commenting on his TikTok, on his Discord, on their own Facebooks. So many people failed this girl, and it really breaks my heart. So, look, that's kind of everything on the Ponzalo and people that knew related stuff. I wanted to do all of this in one video, and I've been just really digging for more examples of this so that I could actually show you guys everything and really make it very clear to you that people knew for a long time. Okay, so I've got a few more things that I want to break down. I've got some more deep dives into Celeste's parents that I think is going to be really interesting. So I'll be sure to keep you guys posted when I've got an update. I'm about to do a couple videos on completely different topics, so stay tuned for those. But anyway, thank you for watching and thank you for trusting me as your news source on this story. But for now, that's it. I'm out. Peace.